Alchemedia. Alchemedia. This is our theme song. And now that we said that out loud, it's probably not as good, but we're still vibing, so it's alright. So please go like, go share, and subscribe. We love you, Alchemedia.
Hello Alchemedians, just me today, and I'm going to do something a little different. This is October, and we are going to get Pokemon ZA pretty soon. So, I thought I'd do a Pokemon video. Like many people, I'm a huge fan of Pokemon and throughout the entire run of the series. So, I was thinking, if Ash didn't catch his team in the first season, who would he catch? So that's what this video is going to be based around, and if you don't agree with some of my picks, or if you think that other people should have be in it instead, put it in the comments section. This will just be for Kanto and the Orange Island, so there will be future series of this, and I hope you enjoy. Number 10 is Kangaskhan. Now, Kangaskhan, I think, would have been a great Pokemon, and I think it actually would have made more sense for him to have than Tauros. Tauros was added in an episode they ended up cutting anyway, and Kangaskhan actually had a very good segue to it in the Kangaskhan Kid episode. But I understand why they went with the 30 Tauroses, because it was funnier, but I always wondered why they didn't trade them, but I do believe Kangaskhan was a better pick. Number 9 will be Cubone Marowak. Cubone is an interesting Pokemon, and I thought it made sense because I actually think they did too little in Lavender Town. And they had to cut out the whole tower almost. Then they only had one episode in the first season, I believe. Whereas like Cubone was a very huge part of the first season. It would have made sense for him to have a ground type like Cubone, especially with the detail they went in through the first games. Number 8 is Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl would have been a great Pokemon for Ash simply because it would have given him a rock type, and it would have made sense, and they wouldn't have had to go on through the whole Charizard being a jerk thing for basically so long in the season. I think that storyline went on a little too long, and it would have made sense for him to cut it out a little earlier with a rivalry. And that's why I believe that Aerodactyl would have been a better choice than keeping that storyline going. Number 7 is actually, and a lot of people might disagree, Chansey. Chansey was one of the original Pokemon thought of as the main mascot. So it would make sense for Ash to catch one, at least for a little bit. Even if he had to trade it away, or if it went away, that would be fine. But Chansey, to show that dynamic of the early series, would have been better than something like, and I know it might offend a few people, but like Krabby, that only was in like 1 or 2 scenes anyway. Number 6. Poliwag. Now I know Misty technically caught a Politoed later, but that actually kind of would make it good for Ash to catch a Poliwag. Ash she was kind of Ash's rival, even more than Gary in a lot of ways. And again, I'm going back to the manga where Red had one of his main Pokemon was Poliwrath. It would make more sense, and that's why I think it should be in there. Number 5, Scyther. Now, the reason is very, very clear. Tracy sucked. They put the worst character with one of the best Gen 1. But above that, it was just Scyther was a great Pokemon, and it kind of showed that Ash and his journeys took place more in the red version than the blue version. It would have kind of defined that, and that's why I think that Scyther would have been a good catch above a lot of the others that he did actually catch. Okay, number 4, and I might be alone in this one because it is kind of high for most people, but I really think he should have caught Spearow. Now, the reason is because it would have kind of been easy to do. There was multiple chances between the first episode and then there was an episode in the Charmander one, and then there was a chance, and I think that Spearow is looked down upon just because they don't give him enough screen time and they treat him as a villain. I really think that given Spearow more time on would have made him a better all-around Pokemon as far as the community goes. Number 3 is going to be Eevee. Eevee is like basically the counter to Pikachu now, and it would have been great to show that early on instead of later in the Let's Go Eevee games. Because there were so many things you could do with Eevee. Okay, number 2. Number 2, I think would have been amazing if they would have had him caught Sandshrew. Now, I think so because it would have been a good kind of rival, or at least had a decent counter to Pikachu. The whole ground typing and him having a lot of the same attributes as Pikachu would have made it interesting, and it would have been one thing they could have actually evolved over time. To see that dynamic between Pikachu and Sandshrew would have been amazing and much more interesting than like what they did with Pidgeotto or Mankey. That they basically had him fight a few battles, but nothing really major. Number 1 is Rapidash. I think that, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I truly believe that Ash should have just been given Rapidash after it literally evolved for him in the race. I know that it would have given him a strong fire type, but early on, but I don't think it would have mattered that much. I think he would have still used Charmander a lot more during that point. And when Charizard started to disobey him, it would have been a good alternate. But again, here we are, and I think even it being able to exit the series would have been a better scene than like Primeape that basically got left with that random fighter. But again, you can't go back in time and change it, but I do think Rapidash is the number 1 pick of ones he should have caught. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this list. I kind of went through it a little faster than I thought I was going to, and kind of got a little bit of the explanations cut down a little bit. But I really wanted to do this before Pokemon ZA came out, and I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. But that's my list for today, and I really hope you'll join us in future videos, and please like and subscribe, and as always, take care.